Mine is from Adam Silver, adamsilver.io, and it's called Where to Put Buttons on Forms. And this is another simple, easy kind of article. The idea is he kind of goes over just that buttons on forms, the most easy or the most kind of random of topics. When we talk about all of design, um, layout and uh, you know, hierarchy and placement. And so one of the last things I kind of think about is where am I going to put that all these buttons on this form. And so, but luckily this article kind of goes over it. And just to give a quick summary, align it to the left. So the idea is he kind of gives different steps of where to put it and why. And so a lot of it kind of goes down with so he links to all these different research articles about having like people doing just having eye tracking tests and heat map tests and see where people naturally go. And they always say that people tend to naturally go down. Excuse me, I'm battling a little sore throat. People tend to go down and look always usually to the left to find that form, and that like let's say that submit button. And the idea also too is since we use our devices in different ways on a mobile, the scaling might mess that up, and so you might it would make even though we'd probably center it anyways. If we were to use Zoom tools that'll zoom in, you might lose the button because it's all the way on the right. So to keep it to the left, it'll follow mostly where the user would naturally be anyways. And then it also kind of goes into just like different other types of different navigation buttons, right? So if you're going to go back to the form, let's say it was a multi-tiered or multi-level form where you kind of have different steps, and you need that back button so that you wouldn't lose your place, so you wouldn't lose any of the form data. Well, where do you put that button? So they were thinking that usually you'd want to put that on the top of the form. And the idea is that one is that we naturally kind of look to the top uh, when we're kind of going back. Um, they they do this so that it kind of matches a navigation that might be on a browser, um, and um, and it wants to keep it to the top so that you would be able kind of to see it as well, right? So just in case if you're kind of working your way up to that back button, oh, there's a back button right there. Let's use this one instead of using the browser's back button, and you might possibly lose that form. Yeah, and so it definitely goes over a bunch of different things. There are times where other buttons need to be added to your form. Like let's say if you're adding a job description or another job in an application. Well, does that go with the same as the continue or submit button? Well, no, you need to put that in on a different level itself because it's not the same. It's not the same level of information as adding another part is to the form. I think hopefully I said that right. And so yeah, I would definitely recommend going through all these. It's pretty simple, and even if your design doesn't really call for where to put buttons on a form, I think it's always great because the article also links to all these different articles of these different studies that were done. And so I I don't know. I kind of just find it interesting just to see. Oh, you know what? These like all this stuff is all kind of research based, and you know, and even if you don't design forms yourself, maybe you might find something about this in your design as well. Huh? If I have a lot of things that are left aligned, even if it's not a submit button, maybe that would be the part where I would want to put the CTA, the call out, or of my design. So who knows? I would say check out the read. Terry, any input where on these form
Yeah,
buttons?
I mean, it's funny because on number two, as you scroll down, it says put the add another button above the primary button instead of next
Mhm.
to it. Um, yeah, I mean, like I've seen, but actually that's kind of different because add another is like it it's an action, so therefore I understand that. But sometimes you, you have done or maybe skip kind of next to a primary and a
Hmm.
secondary button. So yeah, it's really interesting how he put. Oh yeah, here you go. Number 3, continue and save an exit. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it's just different. Sometimes you want to put the forms on the left, or you want to, I mean, the buttons on the left, but
Hmm.
but not on the right. You're saying right is bad, but on the left. But I've seen it on both sides, basically. So
Yeah,
it's good though.
I definitely see it, but I've seen it a bunch of different ways, and so, I mean, um, but if the like I said, this one is research backed as well, and at the end of the day, too, sure, it'll save them time if they go exactly by that by the science-based features research. But if you have an argument why you should put it on the right, I mean, I would say go with that as well. Well, like, what if your design is something where like constantly things are in the right, and so you would want to just follow that same aesthetic as well. Um, but it's on a per case basis.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, I think it's good. It's always good to learn something new, something different, and see if you can break the rules a little bit, right? But still follow suit in some.
Yeah. So that was where to put buttons on forms, and you can find that at adamsilver.io.